Hello, everybody. Tracy, Mrs. JDog Flanagan here with you today. I'm the co-founder and senior vice president at JDog Brands. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Tactical Treasures. Our podcast gives veterans, mil spouses, and military influencers a voice in the veteran space to speak about their service, how they are affecting their communities post-service, and a tactical treasure from their past that has shaped their journey in their military career, business, or life. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Alex Bertelli, the co-founder and CEO of HavenLock. And he is also an Army veteran, having served in the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, piloting helicopters in direct action raids in Iraq and Afghanistan. Alex, welcome to the podcast.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show, and it's good to connect with you and see you again.
Yeah. Yeah, that it's wonderful. So tell me, how long did you serve over in the Army?
I was in the Army from 2005 after I commissioned from the University of Dayton until 2014, and then I did 2 years in the Army National Guard after that.
Wow. Wow. So then you went on to start Haven Lock, this company that you are co-founder and CEO of. And what inspired you to start Haven Lock?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what my next move in life was after I got out of the military, and I was faced with a couple options: go back to school, get a full time job. And I always knew education was important to me. And so I applied to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and was accepted into the graduate program. But I also knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Mm.
And so I came up with this idea about protecting my family while I was deployed when I was in the military. It all had to do around more or less hardening the house so that bad guys couldn't get in. And so after I came home from a deployment, my next door neighbor had a break in. And I
Ugh.
came up with this wedge based locking concept that is 10 times stronger than any lock on the market. It's floor based, and it works with your smartphone. And so I had this idea, and I thought, being the night stalker that I was, I'd get this idea to market in about 6 months. Well, 7 years after bootstrapping and technology development, we finally released a product that not only works in homes, but also in schools. And so I used my time working various corporate jobs. I worked in state government for a while to help fund the business. And
Mm.
then I used my time at UNC Chapel Hill to kind of cultivate my business acumen around the idea and their entrepreneurship program.
Wow, that's really great. I have to say I did see the Shark Tank episode.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
and
our favorite stories to tell.
I know that episode. Oh my gosh, the sharks were just laughing so hard because it kind of was a little oops, right? The you couldn't get the door that was just locked with the deadbolt open, and I have to tell you, I I was so impressed that you just kept your composure. You didn't give up. You went back and you finally got it kicked in. But that was really something. What was that
Yeah, it was
experience like?
one of my more memorable life moments. I was working a corporate job, and Parkland happened, and it happened. I happened, and a week later, I just walked in and quit my corporate job and got in a car and drove up to Chicago and stood in line with 4,000 people to audition. And I
Mhm.
got 30 seconds in front of a junior producer, and a week later, they called us back and said, "Hey, we really like you." And that's about a 6 month or so process, 4 to 6 month process, where
Mm.
you've got homework assignments every week and you have to do a bunch of filming exercises. And so when you get on the show, there's some, all I can say is that there's some movie magic to what's presented on TV, and the
Sh-
ultimate outcome was really great for us. We
Yeah,
didn't have to
I'm
give up our
sure.
business to the sharks, but we also got the exposure that we wanted and formed a lot of new and amazing partnerships that we still have today and are helping us take our technology not just from homes into classrooms, but globally.
Yeah, that's really great. So tell me about you're going into schools now um, after the Texas situation, correct?
Yeah, we've been focusing on the commercial space for a number of years. It's a really difficult space to get into for a lot of reasons related to fire safety and life safety and code. And
Mm,
so we've worked with umpteen national labs to get our product certified to be safely installed and utilized. And so our use case was always classrooms, which obviously is highlighted in the news. And we believe our technology can make a difference, and it does, and it has for several customers. But it works outside of the classrooms too. We sell into churches, we sell our product and protect people in office spaces and retail spaces. And so it's more than just classrooms, but I left my corporate job, to go into the kind of unknown of entrepreneurship to really protect people at school.
right, right. Well, I think it's so needed with all these shootings going on. We really need to figure out a way to protect teachers in our schools and protect children's in the classroom. So needed. So I understand that Haven actually received an award. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, our technology was awarded at our one of our industry's trade shows this past month, ESX in Dallas, which is a security trade show. It was awarded the most innovative access control product of the year, which is great. We're
Wow,
not
that's
considered a standard kind of door locking mechanism, and so we've worked really hard to kind of prove our mettle within the industry, and so now we're really just out there getting the word out, meeting customers. We launched it with a big strategic partner this past March at at the industry's biggest trade show, ISC West. But the past month, we've really just been boots on the ground in Texas, in Houston, in San Antonio, just meeting with customers and trying to give them better peace of mind through the implementation of our technology.
wow, that's really really great. Congratulations on that.
Thanks. It's definitely a labor of love, but I think what is my real focus is this is a mission worth doing. Um,
Mm,
when you're in the military, you have a tribe you're a part of, you have a mission, and like anything, as a Night Stalker, our missions are no fail, and this one's no fail, and this is just a continuation of my service back to our country.
yeah. Well, that it's so needed, and I actually am excited to check it out myself for our home. Hey, Tactical Treasure listeners, if you're interested in learning more about Haven Lock, please visit their website, havenlock.com. And if you are in the commercial space, school or church, please visit havenlockdown.com to see their offerings to protect your school or church or commercial business. If you want to see a demonstration and take a look at that funny Shark Tank episode, you could just Google it and take a look and you'll see exactly how the whole system works. Really interesting. I'm excited to check it out myself. So let's dive into your treasure. I'm really excited to hear about it.
Yeah, so I have two treasures. I think most people in the military take a flag with them, and so I had a flag that I wore on the backside of my body armor when I was out flying aircraft, and that went with me on every single deployment. And so I still have that flag, and it's sitting in my man cave downstairs, and it's been on, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 deployments overseas all over the world.
Wow.
And so I kept that flag, and I don't know if you can see in my back behind my chair, but that was my grandfather's company command flag
Ah,
um,
okay.
from World War II onward. And so I found that crumpled up in a drawer when I was a kid. And I went and talked to my dad, and I said, "What is this flag?" And he goes, "That's your grandfather's command flag." And if you can see or make out some of the details in it, it's pretty ripped and tattered, but that was
Mm,
attached to his Jeep. And so, I always wanted to take that treasure that really wasn't taken care of by my family after my grandfather passed,
mm.
and have one that I could give to my daughter, upon my passing. And so I have this American flag that's really traveled with me all over the world. Pretty much every location I've ever been to, it's been in the back of my body armor on my plate rack.
Wow. That is really special. Um, and I can kind of see that in the background. That other flag. It's kind of on your couch there, right?
Yeah, it's just above my chair, above my head. You can
Yeah.
see it's got the
Oh,
Bravo
okay.
battery sign on it.
Oh, yes,
But
I
what's
see
unique
it.
about it is the ends are completely ripped.
Oh,
So I'd
wow.
seen some pretty arduous times and been in the wind and been on the end of his Jeep. And so I really treasure that as one of my most kind of fond family heirlooms that I brought back from combat.
That's really neat. Um, so, uh, do you have like a motto or a piece of advice that you would share with your fellow veterans transitioning out?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you are deciding to get out of the military, there's some sense of relief that you're kind of moving on to the next objective. But when you do actually separate and you drive out that gate, you more or less are losing the tribe that you've dedicated your life to, and those guys have your back, and that changes. That dynamic completely changes. Um, it kind of hit me pretty hard when I left the unit, and I was working for the governor of Tennessee in his economic cabinet, and I flew out to Las Vegas for a trade show. And when I was at the trade show, the unit was out there conducting some type of desert training, and I walked up to them, and they looked at me like they didn't even know me. And these are guys I literally had just left the office with like a month ago.
Wow.
So that's pretty difficult to see kind of your tribe move on
Mm,
to continue the mission, and you're going down a different path. And so anything in life that's worth doing is difficult, and the most difficult thing for me was transitioning. A lot of guys have problem with that, but
mm,
the motto "Night Stalkers don't quit" is always just kept with me, and so I just focused on what my path was: going to school, getting a job, starting my business. And so even during the most difficult times of our business, it's always been just never quit. The day the
right.
business fails is when the founders quit. And so I have always lived my life, my adult life, by never quitting. Night Stalkers don't quit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
And you can imagine that's probably pretty difficult for businesses, especially ones with global supply chain, electronics,
right.
making products or
Hmm.
components in Asia. I mean, we should have been out of business, but the only thing that kept us going was just never quitting, finding another way, waking up the next day, solving
Right.
problems. And
Hmm.
what keeps us going is that mission, that sense of duty, which
Hmm.
is ultimately providing peace of mind and protecting people. That's why we started this company.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's kind of the same kind of motto here at JDog too. We are definitely bigger than just a company. We are a mission here. And I know that you hire fellow veterans, correct? As we do.
Yeah, we've had veterans join our team who are in the transition program, leaving
Hmm.
active duty. That's been successful for us. And then we partner with a lot of veteran owned businesses to help customers.
That's great. Just continuing to bring people back into the fold, I think is so important.
Yeah,
Um,
man, I think it's part of the reason you guys are successful in your model is that you hire veterans because they're mission focused, they never quit
right.
attitude. And,
Right.
if you think back to your toughest time in the military, probably something that you're doing in your job here stateside isn't as hard as leaving the wire to go capture a bad guy or flying into a dust cloud somewhere in the middle of Afghanistan. And so
Right.
veterans get it. Veterans
Yeah.
definitely get it.
Yeah, they do. They do. And we're all across our franchise system, we're probably 85% veteran owned. So we just had our annual convention, and it was pretty amazing having a bunch of veterans all getting together and under a different mission, but the same mission, just thriving as a JDog franchise owner. So always warms my heart to see that and to see our veterans come into our system and be successful business owners. And they hire veterans. So um, it kind of just goes full circle. And I can see, you have that same kind of like-minded focus, on not only having a business, but how can it be a mission as well. So that's really great. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
what's next for Haven?
Well, I mean, people always ask me that, what is your next product you're going to invent? What's the next idea you're going to go tackle? And I just will tell you that we're just focused on implementing our current technology. A lot of people don't know about it. We have some of the best strategic partners in the world. One of our partners is Johnson Controls. They have the biggest market share in the security space. And so we're really focused on, working with them to protect as many people as possible. So really launching nationally, in various cities. We're starting a big push in Texas for obvious reasons.
Mm.
But on
Yeah.
our roadmap for the future is launching our technology with them in Europe and South America. So
Oh,
we'll be
wow.
doing that within the next year.
Oh, wow. That is very exciting. Hello, listeners. We really want to thank you for tuning in and enjoying all the episodes of Tactical Treasures. We're talking to amazing veterans and mill spouses in the veteran space, and it's just been an amazing experience. And thank you so much for tuning in. But hey, if you want to check out JDog, look us up on jdog.com. And if you go to jdog.com, you'll find out everything about JDog. You'll be able to book a service, either junk removal and hauling or our carpet cleaning and floor care service. You can even look into our franchise, or you can even look at employment. Our JDog franchise owners are hiring all across the country, and they love to hire their fellow veterans and service members. And if you want to know more about our JDog Foundation, we're doing amazing things supporting irreverent warriors and stop soldier suicide, preventing PTSD, and combating veteran suicide. So check us out, jdog.com. Thank you. So if people want to learn more about your awesome technology and your locks and how to purchase, where would they go?
Yeah, they can go to havenlockdown.com. You can watch our video there, and then you can schedule a consultation or provide that website and information to the decision maker or leader within your school system. We're pretty responsive, and we line up demos to explain our technology and tell our story every single day of the week. And so
Mhm.
anyone who wants to learn about the technology or has a district or a school that could be interested, go to that site and pass along our info. We'd be happy to help them.
Right. And what about just plain old residential people like myself?
You can go to our residential website, which is called havenlock.com.
Okay.
And that ships right out of our warehouse same day. So you can go in there and buy a lock for your front door, back door, sliding door,
Okay.
and installs very easily. It works with pretty much any system out there. It works with Ring, it works with Alexa, Google, or it works with our standalone app. So it's really what kind of your flavor is, and that's one of our best sellers.
Right. I imagine it is. Now, do people just typically, does it work like on balcony doors, like sliding glass doors, or is it just mainly like a standard front door?
We created it for front doors. Any kind of single family home that has a threshold, the product is only the thickness of a nickel. It's wide, like the opening of a door,
Hmm.
but it's very slim. And so we made it generally for swing open doors. We do have a
Okay.
sliding glass door kit, but that's a little bit more dependent on what kind of glass door you have.
Ah, okay. I see. Well, that's great. So, it's been a pleasure speaking with you, Alex, and excited to see you go into other parts of other countries moving forward. That's going to be very exciting. So, can't wait to see all that Haven is going to go into.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you so much for having me. I love following all of your business and all the new areas that you guys are getting into. And I wish JDog the best, and glad that we're partnered up. So thanks for
Yeah.
having me again, Tracy.
Yeah. Wishing you well as well. And when you do posts, just tag me, tag Jerry, especially Jerry. Jerry has like 11,000 connections on LinkedIn. We'll like and share all your stuff.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay.
Thanks so much. I appreciate you having me.
Okay. Take care, Alex. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
For all our listeners, please follow Alex on all his social media platforms and check out his website, havenlock.com, to learn more about HavenLock and how they are changing the way residents, our schools, and our churches view safety.